The U.S. Constitution starts with the words, "We the people." What does "we the people" mean? Self-government, popular sovereignty, consent of the governed, people should govern themselves. Example of social contract.
The U.S. Constitution starts with the words, "We the people." What does "we the people" mean? These words explain a powerful idea. In the United States, the government gets its power from ordinary people, not from a king or a small group of rulers. This is self-government. It means the people have the right to run their own country by choosing leaders and helping shape laws. Another way to say the same idea is people should govern themselves. In simple words, the country belongs to the people. This idea is also called popular sovereignty. Popular means the people, and sovereignty means the highest power. So popular sovereignty means the people are the highest power in the government. And for the government to be allowed to lead, it must have consent of the governed. That means the people agree to be governed, mainly by voting and following laws. If the people stop agreeing, they can choose new leaders. All of this connects to an example of social contract. A social contract is like an agreement. The people agree to follow rules, and the government agrees to protect rights and keep order. So in the exam, you only need to say one. A simple one to remember is self-government. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. The U.S. Constitution starts with the words, "We the people." What does "we the people" mean? Self-government, popular sovereignty, consent of the governed, people should govern themselves. Example of social contract. How many amendments does the U.S. Constitution have? 27.
How many amendments does the U.S. Constitution have? The U.S. Constitution is the main rulebook of the United States. But as the country grew and changed over time, new rules were added to improve it and protect people's rights. These changes are called amendments. An amendment is an official change or addition to the Constitution. Right now, the U.S. Constitution has 27 amendments. Some of these amendments protect basic freedoms, like speech and religion. Others changed voting rights and made the government more fair for more people. Each amendment was added through an official process, not quickly or randomly, because the Constitution is meant to be stable. Here's an easy way to remember it. The Constitution is the main rulebook, and amendments are like important updates added over time. The total number of updates is 27. So in the exam, your response is simple and confident. 27. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. How many amendments does the U.S. Constitution have? 27. What is the rule of law? Everyone must follow the law. Leaders must obey the law. Government must obey the law. No one is above the law.
What is the rule of law? The rule of law means the law is the boss, not any one person. It helps keep society fair and safe because the same rules apply to everyone. One way to say it is, everyone must follow the law. This means ordinary people must follow the rules even when no one is watching. But it also applies to people in power. Leaders must obey the law. A president, a governor, or a mayor cannot break the law just because they have a high position. The rule of law also means government must obey the law. The government cannot make unfair rules or punish people however it wants. It must follow the Constitution and the legal process. That's why we also say no one is above the law, not rich people, not famous people, and not government officials. Here's an easy example. Imagine a game where one player can change the rules to win. That would not be fair. The rule of law is the opposite. The rules stay the same, and everyone has to follow them. So in the exam, you only need to say one correct line. Everyone must follow the law, leaders must obey the law, government must obey the law, or no one is above the law. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. What is the rule of law? Everyone must follow the law. Leaders must obey the law. Government must obey the law. No one is above the law. There are 4 amendments to the U.S. Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. There are 4 amendments to the U.S. Constitution about who can vote. Citizens 18 and older can vote. You don't have to pay a poll tax to vote. Any citizen can vote. Women and men can vote. A male citizen of any race can vote.
There are 4 amendments to the U.S. Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. This question is about voting rights and how the United States expanded voting over time so more people could participate in elections. The Constitution was updated with amendments to make voting fairer and to remove unfair limits. One important voting rule is that citizens 18 and older can vote. That means once you turn 18, you have the right to vote in U.S. elections. Another important rule is you don't have to pay a poll tax to vote. In the past, some places tried to make people pay money to vote, which was unfair. This amendment stopped that. Voting rights also expanded so that any citizen can vote, women and men can vote. This means voting is not only for men. Women also have the right to vote. And another key rule is a male citizen of any race can vote. This means race should not be used to deny a man the right to vote. Here's an easy way to remember it. The U.S. added voting amendments to make voting more equal, more fair, and open to more citizens. So in the exam, you only need to describe one rule. You can say citizens 18 and older can vote, or you don't have to pay a poll tax to vote. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. There are 4 amendments to the U.S. Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. There are 4 amendments to the U.S. Constitution about who can vote. Citizens 18 and older can vote. You don't have to pay a poll tax to vote. Any citizen can vote. Women and men can vote. A male citizen of any race can vote. What are 3 rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms.
What are 3 rights of everyone living in the United States? The United States protects important freedoms for people living here. These rights help people speak up, practice their beliefs, and participate in society without fear. The question asks for 3, so you can choose any 3 that you remember clearly. One important right is freedom of expression. This means you can share your ideas in different ways, like writing, art, or peaceful messages. A very similar and well-known right is freedom of speech, which means you can say your opinions even if others disagree, as long as you are not breaking the law. People also have freedom of assembly. This means you can gather peacefully with others, like in a meeting, a march, or a community event. Along with that is freedom to petition the government, which means you can ask the government to fix a problem or change something, like writing a complaint or signing a petition. Another key right is freedom of religion. This means you can choose your religion, practice it, or choose not to follow a religion. And the Constitution also protects the right to bear arms, which means people have the right to own certain weapons, with laws and rules that apply. So for the exam, remember you only need 3. A simple set to memorize is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of assembly. Any 3 are enough.
Quick recall. What are 3 rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The United States, the flag.
What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The Pledge of Allegiance is a promise people say to show love, respect, and loyalty to the country. It is often said in schools, ceremonies, and public events. When we say the pledge, we are showing loyalty to the United States. This means we are expressing commitment to the country and what it stands for, like freedom, unity, and democracy. We also show loyalty to the flag. The flag is a symbol of the nation. It represents the United States and the people who live here. That's why many people face the flag when they say the pledge. Here's an easy way to remember it. The pledge is a promise to the country, and the flag is the sign or symbol of that country. So both are correct. So in the exam, you can say the United States or the flag. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The United States, the flag. Name 2 promises that new citizens make in the Oath of Allegiance. Give up loyalty to other countries. Defend the U.S. Constitution. Obey the laws of the United States. serve in the military, if needed, serve, help, do important work for the nation, if needed, be loyal to the United States.
Name 2 promises that new citizens make in the Oath of Allegiance. When someone becomes a U.S. citizen, they take the Oath of Allegiance. This oath is a serious promise that shows commitment to the United States. It explains what a new citizen agrees to do as part of joining the country. One promise is to give up loyalty to other countries. This means the person is choosing the United States as their main country of loyalty. Another promise is to be loyal to the United States, which means supporting the country and standing with it. New citizens also promise to defend the U.S. Constitution. The Constitution is the highest law of the land, so this promise means protecting the country's basic rules and rights. They also promise to obey the laws of the United States, which means following the rules that keep society fair and safe. In some situations, new citizens also agree to help protect and serve the country. This includes being willing to serve in the military if needed. It can also mean being ready to serve, help, do important work for the nation if needed, such as doing important work to support the country in a time of need. So for the exam, you only need to name 2 promises. A simple pair to remember is obey the laws of the United States and be loyal to the United States. Any 2 are enough.
Quick recall. Name 2 promises that new citizens make in the Oath of Allegiance. Give up loyalty to other countries. Defend the U.S. Constitution. Obey the laws of the United States. Serve in the military, if needed, serve, help, do important work for the nation, if needed, be loyal to the United States. How can people become United States citizens? Be born in the United States, under the conditions set by the 14th Amendment. Naturalize. Derive citizenship, under conditions set by Congress.
How can people become United States citizens? There are a few main ways a person can become a U.S. citizen. The first way is by birth. A person can be born in the United States under the conditions set by the 14th Amendment. This means that being born in the U.S., with the legal conditions explained by the Constitution, can make someone a citizen. Another way is to naturalize. Naturalization is the legal process where a person who was born in another country applies to become a U.S. citizen. This usually includes meeting requirements like living in the U.S. for a certain time, showing good moral character, and passing a civics and English test. A third way is to derive citizenship under conditions set by Congress. This can happen when a child becomes a U.S. citizen through their parents based on the rules that Congress has created. It depends on the child's situation, the parent's citizenship, and the laws at that time. So in the exam, you only need to say one correct way. Being born in the U.S. under the 14th Amendment, naturalize or derive citizenship. Any one is enough.
Quick recall. How can people become United States citizens? Be born in the United States, under the conditions set by the 14th Amendment. Naturalize. Derive citizenship, under conditions set by Congress. What are 2 examples of civic participation in the United States? Vote. Run for office. Join a political party. Help with a campaign. Join a civic group. Join a community group. Give an elected official your opinion on an issue. Contact elected officials. Support or oppose an issue or policy. Write to a newspaper.
What are 2 examples of civic participation in the United States? Civic participation means taking part in your community or government in a peaceful and responsible way. It's how people help shape the future of the country, even if they are not a politician. The most common example is to vote. Voting is how people choose leaders and make their voice count in elections. Another strong example is to run for office, which means you can try to become a leader yourself, like a city council member or another government role. People can also get involved by joining groups. You can join a political party if you want to support a certain set of ideas. You can help with a campaign by volunteering, sharing information, or encouraging people to vote. You can also join a civic group or join a community group, which means working with others to solve problems and improve your neighborhood. Another important way to participate is to speak up respectfully. You can give an elected official your opinion on an issue or contact elected officials by calling, emailing, or writing a letter. You can also support or oppose an issue or policy, such as speaking at a meeting or signing a petition. And you can write to a newspaper to share your opinion with the public. So for the exam, you only need to name 2 examples. A simple pair to remember is vote and contact elected officials. Any 2 are enough.
Quick recall. What are 2 examples of civic participation in the United States? Vote, run for office, join a political party, help with a campaign, join a civic group, join a community group, give an elected official your opinion on an issue, contact elected officials. Support or oppose an issue or policy. Write to a newspaper. What is one way Americans can serve their country? Vote, pay taxes, obey the law, serve in the military, run for office, work for local, state, or federal government.
What is one way Americans can serve their country? Serving your country does not always mean doing something big or dramatic. Many everyday actions help the United States stay strong, safe, and fair. One important way is to vote. Voting helps choose leaders and gives people a voice in the government. Another way is to pay taxes. Taxes help pay for things everyone uses, like roads, schools, and emergency services. People also serve the country when they obey the law, because following laws helps keep communities safe and organized. Some Americans serve in more direct ways. They may serve in the military, protecting the country and supporting national defense. Others serve by being leaders. They may run for office to represent their community and help make decisions. People can also serve by helping the government do its daily work when they work for local, state, or federal government. Here's an easy way to remember it. Voting, paying taxes, and following the law are simple ways most people can serve. And military service or government work are bigger service roles. So for the exam, you only need to say 1 correct way. Vote, pay taxes, obey the law, serve in the military, run for office, or work for local, state, or federal government. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. What is one way Americans can serve their country? Vote, pay taxes, obey the law, serve in the military, run for office, work for local, state, or federal government. Why is it important to pay federal taxes? Required by law. All people pay to fund the federal government. Required by the U.S. Constitution, 16th Amendment, civic duty.
Why is it important to pay federal taxes? Federal taxes are how the country pays for things everyone depends on, like national defense, courts, roads, and public services. One simple reason is that paying taxes is required by law. It's not optional. It's a rule that applies to everyone. Taxes also work because all people pay to fund the federal government. When everyone contributes, the government can function and provide services for the whole nation, not just a few people. It's a shared responsibility that keeps the system running. There is also a constitutional reason. Paying federal taxes is required by the U.S. Constitution, 16th Amendment. This amendment gives the federal government the authority to collect income taxes so it can do its job. Beyond laws and amendments, paying taxes is a civic duty. That means it's part of being a responsible member of society, like following laws or voting. When people pay taxes, they are helping support the country they live in. So for the exam, remember one clear idea? You can say it's required by law, it funds the federal government, it's required by the 16th Amendment, or it's a civic duty. Anyone is enough. Enough?
Quick recall. Why is it important to pay federal taxes? Required by law. All people pay to fund the federal government. Required by the U.S. Constitution, 16th Amendment, civic duty. It is important for all men age 18 through 25 to register for the Selective Service. Name one reason why. Required by law, civic duty, makes the draft fair, if needed.
It is important for all men age 18 through 25 to register for the Selective Service. Name one reason why. The Selective Service system is a way for the United States to be prepared in case the country ever needs a military draft during a national emergency. One reason registration matters is that it is required by law. Men in this age group must register, and not doing so can lead to problems later, like losing access to certain benefits. Another reason is that registering is a civic duty. Civic duty means doing your part as a responsible member of society, even if you are never called to serve. Registering also makes the draft fair if needed. Instead of choosing people unfairly, the Selective Service system creates a list so everyone in the age group has an equal chance if a draft ever happens. Here's an easy way to remember it. Registering does not mean you are going to be drafted. It means the country is prepared and the system is fair. So in the exam, you only need to name one reason required by law, civic duty, or makes the draft fair if needed. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. It is important for all men age 18 through 25 to register for the Selective Service. Name one reason why, required by law, civic duty, makes the draft fair, if needed. When did all men get the right to vote? After the Civil War, during Reconstruction, with the 15th Amendment 1870.
When did all men get the right to vote? In the early history of the United States, not all men were allowed to vote. Voting rights expanded over time, especially major events that changed the country. After the Civil War, the nation worked to give more rights to citizens. This period is called during Reconstruction, when the government focused on rebuilding the country and protecting rights. It was after the Civil War that important changes were made to voting laws. One of the most important changes was with the 15th Amendment. This amendment said that a male citizen's right to vote could not be denied because of race. The 15th Amendment was officially added in 1870, marking a major moment in voting rights history. Here's a simple way to remember it. Civil War ends, Reconstruction begins, the 15th Amendment is added, and voting rights expand. So in the exam, you only need to say one correct response. After the Civil War, during Reconstruction, with the 15th Amendment, or 1870. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. When did all men get the right to vote? After the Civil War, during Reconstruction, with the 15th Amendment 1870. What did the Civil Rights Movement do? Fought to end racial discrimination.
What did the Civil Rights Movement do? The Civil Rights Movement was a time when many Americans worked together to make the country more fair and equal. For a long time, people were treated differently because of their race, especially Black Americans. This was not fair, and many laws and practices caused harm and separation. The Civil Rights Movement fought to end racial discrimination. That means people worked to stop unfair treatment based on race. They wanted equal rights in schools, jobs, housing, and voting. They used peaceful protests, marches, speeches, and court cases to push for change. Here's a simple example. Imagine a rule that says some people can sit anywhere in a room, but others must sit in the back only because of who they are. The Civil Rights Movement worked to remove rules like that and make sure everyone was treated the same. Because of this movement, important laws were passed to protect equal rights and make discrimination illegal. It helped move the country closer to fairness and justice for all. So in the exam, the correct response is clear and short: fought to end racial discrimination. Anyone is enough.
Quick recall. What did the Civil Rights Movement do? Fought to end racial discrimination.